Listen, maybe you already have a job that pays you well. Maybe you enjoy what you do, right? I'm not saying you need to go quit, but if you do go get into the real estate space, if you do start your own business on the side, you're trying to be or you're working towards being an entrepreneur. But there's a massive gray area right there of people that talk but don't do. They're wantrepreneurs. What's up, guys? First of all, good morning. Good morning right here. I'm in sunny San Diego in my backyard. And this morning, my routine right now is I wake up at about 4:30. I head straight to the gym. I get there before 5 and I start my cardio about 5 a.m. I do cardio for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, most of the time 30 minutes, just so I can get going. I know I have to come back home and my wife goes to the gym at 7:30. But I do my cardio for 30 minutes. And what this video is gonna be about is the things that I think about and the things that I run through. Sometimes I'm listening to audiobooks. Sometimes I'm listening to motivational stuff on YouTube. I'm just gaining more information, maybe get myself pumped for the day, get myself in the right positive mental attitude. And a lot of times right at the beginning, though, the first 15 minutes, though, what I'll do is I'll catch up on emails, I'll catch up on DMs, I'll catch up on any messages that I got from the prior day. And so I use that time to kind of get ahead of the day. Since I am on the West Coast, it's important to me to get after it because you got to think people on the East Coast are 3 hours ahead, right? They're already started their day. The morning's already going. And I own a company still, a couple companies still in Oklahoma, so Central Time. So they're 2 hours ahead. People are already going to work, right? But something that stuck out to me today really made me think, like, man, somebody asked me a question. So I started to go down this road thinking. And the question inspired me, what's the difference in an entrepreneur and a wantrepreneur? Because you can't be both, right? What's a wantrepreneur and what's an entrepreneur? And I get messages from people all the time that say they want something, or they say they want a certain lifestyle, or they want to get into real estate. And listen, maybe you already have a job that pays you well. Maybe you enjoy what you do, right? I'm not saying you need to go quit, but if you do go get into the real estate space, if you do start your own business on the side, you're trying to be or you're working towards being an entrepreneur, right? But there's a massive gray area right there of people that talk but don't do. They're wantrepreneurs.
Hey, what's up, guys? Austin Hancock here. I get a lot of messages asking for some help in some capacity, whether it's financial, fitness, mindset, something to make your life better, something to make it to where you can go from this point right here, where you are now, to the dream life that you've always wanted to be living. Shoot me a text or give me a call, 405-697-4072. The number's right here, 405-697-4072. Call or text the number and let's change your life.
And I've known people that are like, I was going to get into real estate. I was going to start my own business. I was going to do all these things, but they never take the action. For me, I'm baffled by why they don't do this. I don't understand because for me, I've always been driven more towards having the freedom, more towards, even if I fall flat on my face, at least it was my decision, right? It was my fault. You know, you guys can go through a whole freaking career. I mean, for instance, my grandfather, he was in the natural gas business in the 80s and 90s and then retired in the early 2000s. Well, he was forced to retire. Why was he forced to retire? Because he got to the age where they said, we're done with you. And he thought they retired him like 2 years early. Why? Because they didn't want to give him his full pension. Yeah. And so you guys think this illusion of stability is there, and it's not there, and it's not there. If you're in a government job, you're super secure, but you're not going to stretch. You're not going to get anything else. And if you want to get more in life, if you want to gain more traction, if you want to become more wealthy, if you want more freedom, we know the government's not giving you that. It's up to you, right? It's up to you. And that's the reason I think that fitness goes hand in hand with entrepreneurship in general, you know, because it ultimately nobody else can go out there and lift the weights for you or train or whatever you do, right? Somebody can't go earn the black belt in jiu-jitsu for you. Somebody can't go earn the muscles or the physique that you want. Somebody can't go eat the food or follow the diet for you. It's the same concept though for business. And so many people get hung up and they become wantrepreneurs. They don't ever follow through with what they're really looking to do. And what you're looking to do, because what I was looking to do is really at the beginning, all you're looking for is options. You're looking for options. And the further down the line, the older you get, the further in life you get, it gets harder. And the excuses and the hesitation and the analysis paralysis gets worse. I'm fortunate I started earlier because I saw the writing on the wall. I just wanted it. So for y'all that are watching this that are younger, start now. Go make mistakes. Get started. Have the experiences. What is a successful entrepreneur? What is a person that has life experience? It's a person that's experienced it. It's a person that said yes to things that they realized they either didn't want to do or that they did want to do and that they were good at or they weren't good at and they wanted to work on, or they just said they don't want to do it anymore. It's experiences. And so what happens is you go to college and fall in the process, whatever it is, or you don't. You're blue collar, right? Like that's my people. You're blue collar and you go work. And then you're like, you know what? I need to be a superintendent, or I need to be an operator, or I need to move to this level, or I need to do this, or I need a project manager, or I need to do that. Then what happens is during that time period that you're focused on doing that thing, and it could be a year, it could be 5, it could be 10. A lot of times you're gonna be getting married, you're gonna be having relationships, you're gonna have kids, you're probably gonna move into a house, because when all that happens, we all know what follows in suit, right? You're gonna have kids. And when you have kids, the wife, a lot of times is like, hey, we need a house. I need to feel stable. And then that right there is what happens, and it grabs a hold of you. And then all these life experiences afterwards comes up, that I hear people have, and that's because their path and their habitual habits are just fucking bad. They're bad. They're bad habits. Like, you have to admit at one point, like, the life that you have is because of the shit that you've done. And the sooner that you admit that, the sooner that you can start solving the problem. But they compound. So it makes it harder. When you're responsible for a new wife, when you have a job, and now you have a home, now you have a car, and now you pay for her car, and then she's pregnant, and then you have a kid, and then you have another kid, and maybe you have another kid. What does that look like? You have a responsibility now. Yeah, you have a duty. These people that you promised this life, this outlook for. And so you dial off the risk. Say, it's a good job. It's this, it's that. But in the back of your mind, there's still that little spark. There's still a little spark of hope that you can do it, that you could do something else. This happens. I just need these circumstances to align. The stars will align. If I get fired, if we sell our house, if she ever left me, when the kids get older. Guys, what we're made up of is experiences and our daily habits. And our daily habits convert to our weekly habits, and our weekly habits convert to monthly, and then yearly, and then freaking every year from there. And too many times we think that a change is coming, and it's not coming. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to save yourself. And if you're watching this video, you've started to think different. You've started to be like, man, this guy's either a fucking idiot or he's right. And when you come to the conclusion of the things that you've done, and everybody's life's different. Everybody starts from a different place, right? When you come to the conclusion that you want to change bad enough, then you change. Going back to my scenario, when you're John Smith that has the wife and kids and house and cars, it's comfortable. Man, it's comfortable. Do you know how not stressful for the most part it is? You guys get to go forget all about what's going on and who's getting paid on the weekend. Not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur, and I'm not saying that everybody needs to be an entrepreneur. I've worked with very high level people that have been in businesses, that have worked for other people. Those are high level people that I admire, right? They're not the person that checks out. They're not the guy that's like, hey man, I know more about sports. I know more about my favorite player than I know about my daughter and her friends at school. Think about that one, dads. Think about that one. How much more do you know about the player in the field, number 24? How much more do you know about the stats? How much more do you know about the politics than you know about your own children when you put them to bed and they want to talk to you, they want to be there with you, and you don't get to spend any time with them because you deserve this time because you work 9 to 5 and you work overtime and you deserve it. And you need the weekend. And you got to have those beers and you got to have those margaritas because you know what? I worked out all week. All of that shit is what keeps people stuck because it feels good. The chips are good. Margs are good. Feel great. Catching a buzz feels fucking awesome. You can escape. Shoulders drop. Feels fucking good, right? The job. Talking about sports with your buddies can feel great. You feel fun. You're having fun. But you know it doesn't get you where you want to go. And so you have a choice. To make this video right now, your choice. Your choice is to continue down the path that you're on or to make a decision and commit to following through with the dreams you once had. And it doesn't matter what comes up. It won't stop you. It does not matter. I don't want to hear any of the excuses. I do not care what happens going forward. If I go bankrupt, if my wife leaves me, I will not stop. I will not stop. I'm not going to go get a job. There is no like me going and getting a job or me quitting or me not being the best version of me not constantly progressing. I know too much now. I've gone too far. Once you get far enough into it, you can't go back. And you can't see the other side. It's like the Matrix. You can't go see the other side. You can't go back. You took the pill. You saw the Matrix. You saw the trap. You saw the middle class trap. You see the outside. You see how it operates. You're learning more. You're skeptical about more. You're all of a sudden a conspiracy theorist because you're like, this is crazy. And it's sad that you'll have people that be like, oh, you don't pay taxes. And they don't have any clue about money. The same people that say, I have a Lamborghini, right? Okay, but stupid Lamborghini Huracan. You rent the Lamborghini. Do you rent it? I still get people that ask me that. Motherfucker, my last name is on the tag and it's an Oklahoma tag and I'm in San Diego. And I want to ask you a question. Genuinely, think about this. If I rented it or I own it or I financed it, does it matter? Like, does it matter? If I owned it cash, if I rented it or if I financed it, does it matter? If I own it cash, I had a fuckload of cash and I'm a dumbass and I put it on a car, or I'm just one to have, I have a shitload of cash and I need to just put it somewhere. Second thing, if I bought it and I have a payment, now guess what? I still have a payment. I still had to put money down. A lot of times on that high end of a car, you got to put like 20% down, right? Especially if you hadn't had those payments before. So boom, I got fucking 100 grand in my car and now I have a payment. I have a payment, right? So think about the payment. If I rented the car, God, we know that would be the worst scenario, especially for how long you guys have seen me have it. I'm just giving you guys an example because this is the mindset shift and this is the paradigms. But bringing it back before we close out, you guys, the risk is what you're doing now. The risk is not educating yourself. I know so many dudes, alpha guys, jack guys that call themselves this, right? But they don't self-educate when it comes to their finances. You can be the baddest shooter, you can be the buffest dude, you can be the best jujitsu artist, you can be the best father, you can be the best at your little job. But if you're not still self-educating on your finances and you're not still trying to grow in some capacity, you're a failure on that one leg of the chair. And so if you're failing at that one leg on the chair, then the chair will fall over eventually. Why are you leaving that one out? So don't be a wantrepreneur. Like I said, there's great entrepreneurs out there, and there's great people that don't want to be entrepreneurs out there and don't want to deal with it. And I can understand that. But don't be the guy that runs his freaking mouth or that constantly lives in regret that they didn't go out and carve their own. And for those of you that are high-level employees, I still suggest that you educate yourself at least in the real estate investing space so that you can mitigate the majority of the taxes that you're paying out to other freaking countries at this point so that you can bring more of that money home to your family or that charity that you love or that organization or your church or whatever you choose to do with it. There's no reason not to educate yourself. There's no reason to be obstinate. Losers are obstinate. Thanks for watching this YouTube video. Austin Hancock, if you don't know who I am, check me out on Instagram, austin.hancock1. Thanks for watching this. I look forward to sending you guys more messages.